Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Amuse Gesture. My name is Junior. Today we're going to be looking at Joytoy's Iron Wrecker02 Tactical Mecha, scale of 1/25th. Joytoy Iron Wrecker. What is it about this line? Why do I keep coming back to this line and to the scale 1/25th? It's the only toy line in my collection that is in that scale. I usually collect 1/12 scale. I have finished my 1/6 scale from Hot Toys, some movie stuff. I try not to go into 1/18 scale, which is where Star Wars is, some G.I. Joes, and some Hasbros. But I want to concentrate on 1/12 scale. That's what I do. That's where most of my collection is. So why am I? What is it about this toy line that I keep coming back to? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so let me just open it up really quick, and I'll get right back to you. This is the pilot. I'm pouring the contents of the bag, which is gotta be careful, and this is why I like see-through things, because you know exactly there's nothing in there left. These are gonna be really small, so hold on a second. Have a helmet, two other pairs of hands, one rifle, and a gun, and we'll go over that now. So here is the face of that figure. This figure stands at 3 inches exactly tall. This is the detail you're getting from this figure. 3 inches high. You don't see anything in the eyes, but honestly, at this scale, when you're looking at it in real life, why you won't see the pupils. I don't even know why you would need to see pupils at this scale. Remember, 3 inches high. Here's my fingernail for reference. Look at that. Here's the movement. You go sideways. It's on a ball joint. Goes. Looking up is limited. Notice that this kerchief is floating and you can remove it. This is on a ball joint, the shoulder. You can go as high as that. Don't be afraid if it pops off. Oh wait, maybe this is not one of those. It used to pop off easily. But let's see. Huh. Um, there's rotation on the elbow. More than 90 degrees bend. This is a pilot from another Joytoy. So that is a ball joint. Okay, so that is different now. Huh. It's now a disc hinge. So they changed that. So now I don't know if there's a ball joint inside here, because this used to be removable, this shoulder armor. Anyway. Twist on the waist. There. Double jointed on the knees. Okay, now that one popped off. So I wonder if it's the same. It's not. I wonder if the same one for this one. I'm not too afraid of breaking the Joytoy. From my experience, like you saw how this one just popped off like that. It's easily, you can easily plug it back in. From what I've experienced with my Joytoy figures. See, this one is on a separate armor. There's a leg thigh twist over there. And the ankle is on a ball joint, so you can move things around. It does have an ankle twist as well. Again, 3-inch figure, all this movement and all that stuff. I'm gonna have to look and see to verify. So one of the things is this armor over here, it's stuck to the figure. But one of the things with Joytoy is the fact that you can remove parts of the armor and make it more of a bare figure. See, this one, it's hard to remove, but you know it's removable because the other side was. So you can customize the look of the figure. Again, that's a plus for me. That's one of the things I like about Joytoys. This one already has the right arm for the gun, I believe. The rubber or the plastic they use in this one is really bendable, but holds the gun pretty well because it's so small. Everything's light, so it's not putting in a lot of weight and pressure on any of these things. And to remove the hand, just pop it off like that. And because it's so small, you're basically like, look at how much indentation I put in my finger. The more you're pushing it in, it will just like flop it on. So it's just a matter of being persistent with it if you want it back, if you want to replace the hand. But so replacing the helmets, the fingers, and all that stuff does take an effort. It's there. You can. What I would do is I would soak the parts rather than the ball peg or the whole figure. Keep the peg solid and cold while you warm up the hand or the head. That will make it one piece to be less pliable, but look at that. 3 inches. Jeez. That just blows my mind. For something so small to be so articulated and to be well painted. Look at how many paint apps there are. White, black, pukish green, red, maroon. And for something like this, look at something like this. You have silver, some speckling. This is a different one though. But anyway, let's go back to this one. So that's it for the figure. Highly articulated, well painted, lots of accessories, lots of choices. I love this figure. Now let's look at this robot, right? Same basically paint schemes as the figure itself. The painting application on this figure is just amazing. It really is. It doesn't feel as if they've skimped on anything in terms of painting. It's not like only the front is painted. It's fully painted all around. And it's not like it's a minimal amount of painting. There's a bunch of paint application on this one, some tampos. You don't have to put stickers on. It does it. They do it by themselves, by them, or by their factory workers already. Even though the joints, the ball joints are showing, because it's a mechanical figure, you really don't see it. It's hidden very well within the robot configuration itself, right? The cool thing about Joytoys is it does have a cockpit inside it where you can put the pilot. So this particular one, it seems like you can put it can be used for the 1/18 scale figures. So that's where you put them in. Look at that. This is a removable piece by itself, so it can work as some sort of propeller jet. I wish because there's a hole here, I wish there was something that it pegs on here. This does look like it's some sort of a seat pattern. I know it almost doesn't kind of make sense. Why is this pilot standing up? And this is the only chair that he's putting in, is like a crotch chair. Let's look at the detail inside it. Right? Look at that. Like, why even bother putting all that detail on the inside? But there it is, to complete the believability of the object. There's no die cast in this one. Don't expect it to have any die cast. It does feel light, but once I tell you the price that you pay for a Joytoy, I really don't know why you would expect die cast material on something like this. It looks like it should have die cast, certainly enough, but look at that. That's amazing. All right, articulation. These are on a flap, so you can move it out of the way as you move the shoulders. There's no ratchets, just tight joints inside it. If it comes off, don't worry. Just put it back in. Don't cry or anything. That's the movement for the arm and the shoulder. It does a rotation on the shoulder. It is double jointed on the elbow, so you can move it by that much. This is on a ball joint, so you can move it like that. Squeaky, squeaky. Then you can twist it on the wrist. That's good. The arm itself is, let's see, ball jointed on the first knuckle. And that's it. Doesn't have any more joints on any else on the knuckles of the hands, but it does go sideways as well on the fingers. This particular unit does have its waist swivel, and it has a little bit of a side-to-side motion, so it's probably on a ball joint inside there. This is kind of twisted, so you can put it sideways. There's no hampering for this particular model design on the skirts, so it goes that much out, goes this much forward. The bend on the knee has two bends, one there, there's another one over here, so that should give you plenty of movement. So 90 here, and then an additional maybe 45 over there. See? And then for the ankle, you do have this hinge that you can move forward like so. And then on a slight tilt on the ankle. Because again, no die cast, it's all plastic, it's light, the joints are tight. At least initially they are tight. I don't know if they'll start to loosen up the more you move it around. But it's holding its pose as far as I can tell. Okay. By the way, just like in the figure itself, the Joytoy robots, if you look at the instructions, you'll notice that the first page basically tells you these parts. The thing about Joytoy is that when they design their robots, this is the Iron Wrecker, they have multiple versions of Iron Wrecker. And what they usually do is they'll have this basic skeletal structure where, for example, with the hands, like so, these are all detachable and removable. Don't prove me wrong now. See? And I would not be surprised if this is basically the same as that one. So it's just like interchangeable. Okay, so it's not. So this is only on to the left one. But see this part, this port over here and this port over here, you can, if you can find different armor pieces, you can literally put it on one side and change it up. So that's one cool thing about, that's one of the cool things about Joytoy. Put it back in. Another cool thing too is because it is removable, you can kind of create some sort of diorama where you have this lying on some sort of table and you're working on the robot, or you can have it so that this has been blown apart, and your robot is missing an arm because of battle damage and everything. So I believe this is also removable. This is removable. Everything here, it's just completely customizable. This whole thing is basically a customizable robot. So one of the early Joytoys I would receive is these would be like completely separate, and then you have to put it together and everything. And it looks like this is removable as well, this whole chest piece, and this is removable as well. It's out first. There's a joint here and there's a joint here. That's probably where the connection is, see? Yeah, put that out. So now you can remove the backpack. Now you can remove the front piece. And this part as well. Now, let me ask you, is that cool or is that a hindrance? I don't know. That's up to you. If you're trying to tell a story of this robot of this world, and you have this displayed somewhere, and you have this displayed somewhere, and you're putting it in some sort of a hangar bay, it's being repaired and all that stuff. Because even naked as it is, because as you can see, the underlayer armor or robot is fully painted, right? So it works. It works as a piece like this. I don't know if you guys ever saw my review of the Solo Chogokin from Bandai DX Mazinger Z, where you can remove parts of the armor and the underlying part, you'll see like the mechanisms and all that stuff. It's all fake and everything. It's all superficial, but still, this is what this evokes. So you can tell a completely different story with just this piece alone and make your own diorama. By the way, Joytoy also has hanger base and all that stuff. I haven't actually bought one, but those are for the 1/18 scale, and I can't see why they won't work for their 1/25 scale as well. So let's put this thing back as it was before. Look at that. They even put a wash inside of this thing. That's just... who... I mean, this is the only company that I can think of that does this. I don't know of any other toy line that is doing this type of playability and all that stuff. Mainbot. Initially, you guys saw me start disassembling this whole robot, whole gun thing. I completely forgotten how it's supposed to go. I kind of remember this was... I completely forgotten it. How this went on. There, rifle. Sword. Just like this. We gotta build this. See if we can use Voltron, Defender of the Universe. So I still have these left over. I'm not entirely sure where they go. I'm probably going to look at some other people's reviews and see where I can put them in. But as it is, it's already looking pretty cool. Now, this figure or this toy line, it's not perfect. It really isn't. One of the things is because this is all friction, and as much as you try to hold it, because this weapon is so long and it will have its own resistance, as you can see, it's wobbly. One thing that I would probably recommend to them is the way Transformers Hasbro does it, or Takara. This piece will have like a protruding item over here, and then their arms usually have a notch over here, and it will just like attached, right? It'll just make it for more stability. And because it's all friction based, eventually, as you move it over and over, you notice there's no screws or anything. The friction, eventually, you might have a problem with loose joints. You know, and because it's of its ability to become modular, I don't know if it will be a nuisance to you that sometimes this will start to fall off, or the more you move it, you know. But I don't know. It depends on how much you play with your toys, how much you move it. And if it does become a problem, you can always do nail polish. I believe some people said to create enough friction and hold so it doesn't, so it will retain its hold, so it doesn't become too loose. I've shown you as much of the instruction as possible. There really isn't much. You saw me construct this whole thing out of those smaller pieces. As you can see, there's no explanation for this B6. There's no instruction for that. I just basically did by looking and by comparing the parts that was given to me. And this seems to be as close as it could be from what I've seen. But yeah, there it is. There's Joytoy. So why am I still buying this line? This thing is the original price is $69. I got it for 15% discount for $59 for this figure. You tell me, is the value here? There's no nostalgia for me, absolutely, for this figure. There's no backstory that I can think of. There's no cartoons, nothing. Nothing from growing up and everything. I don't know what the story is behind this figure. I don't know the story is for this military unit. Right? The value on the playability and the story and putting a background story for this one, that all rests on me as a collector to figure it out, to make things up. I'm not limited by anything that I'm seeing in the cartoons. I don't have to compare it to any kind of cartoon design or anything like that. It's all completely Joytoy's own design, and whether or not it appeals to me as a collector, whether or not they succeeded in creating a design, a paint application, playability factor, the modular ability of the toy, all that stuff. They did all that stuff, and now it's up to me to decide if the value is there for the price that I just paid for it. And I'm gonna say yes, absolutely yes. And this is a line that's kind of dangerous in a way because I I want a lot of these, to be honest. $69. So far, I believe I have 5 of these iron record types, and I have the one of the Tiequi line. I can't remember if I'm saying, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah. And then I have one of their steel bones line, so that's a different skeletal structure and everything. But I think this is definitely worth it. I want to buy another one. There's another design that I kind of want, but definitely if I can see this at a lower priced range, $50, or if I see a bunch of this for 45, I'm buying, like, I don't know, 5. I can't buy 10 because that's 450. But yeah, the robot is excellent. It's a beautiful toy. The figure is a beautiful toy. This thing, if I've been trying to see if we can get these toy figures as a pack, like maybe $5 each. I don't want to pay $10 for this, but probably $10 for this, and this is 65 or 69. So this, yeah, this is so small. See, it's kind of loose on the head, but the only thing is so small. It's so easy to lose the hands. It is hard to put on. It could be aggravating, but still, for how small it is, it just plays very, very well. It plays very, very well. I can't believe it. I think I'm gonna have to buy some of their hangers and then do a review of those as well too. This is from the Tiqui ship that I have. That was a little bit more expensive. That was $80. I saw that go on sale for like $69. I should have bought it then, because it comes with 2 pilots and all that stuff, and it's a bigger mecha as well. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video review. Actually, it's longer than I anticipated. Joytoy. I'm going to be buying more of this. I probably won't be reviewing it because I just want to enjoy the line, but I just want to put it out there. One of the lines you need to watch out for and maybe buy. Bye.